Right, welcome back to the Arsenal podcast and welcome to the Arsenal Transfer Talk Show, where we do transfers. New week, new news stories, new transfers, same old players linked with Arsenal. So, what is the latest about players that are linked to Arsenal? I'm going to talk about Thomas Partey, particularly Thomas Partey today, the new bid this week. Arsenal are preparing and it is really awful. I don't know if Atletico Madrid will take it, but let us just listen to it. First and foremost, allow me just remind you about our, because you guys have been asking me so many questions about Houssem Aouar and will we get the player from Lyon? Will we get that playmaker? Now it seems our bid was rejected. It was not enough, just like of course Arsenal, we always want the cheap way. We we always want to go for the cheaper players. We want to go for the cheaper option. Lyon came in and said they would take 60 million euros, which is around 54 million pounds, and we knew that very well. But certainly we went in with 31 point something million plus Matteo Guendouzi, which Arsenal valued at 55 million, because that's that's the figure that was pushed into the media and it was circulating when that bid was taken in, that Arsenal bidded 55 million for Houssem Aouar. Now, Lyon made it clear that this was not actually 55 million, on the desk. It was 31 plus Matteo Guendouzi, and it was rejected there and then. Truly, in my opinion, if you look at Matteo Guendouzi and how we have been really raising him and so much, I don't think we have reached a point of sending him out to Atletico Madrid, sending him out to Lyon. He's not really impressing. He needs a season. Like, give him a season. He proves, and then maybe you can sell him out, or cash him in, or you can just send him on in a swap deal. But right now, when he's still struggling, he struggled last season. He's out of favor with Mikel Arteta. Then you push him to Lyon. Lyon are going to look for the good things around him, and they can only imagine that he's going to become a better player in the future. So I think that's the reason as to why many clubs like PSG, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and of course Lyon have rejected him. They don't think he has the potential, because he has been at a club like Arsenal and he hasn't proven it yet. So how can you tell them that Matteo Guendouzi is going to be working for them? Anyway, that story is there. This the bid has been rejected. We are still waiting to for a response from Edu, whether he's actually going to accept the bid or not. Of course, he's in contact with the agents now. He has left the club contacts now. He's in contact with the agents of the player. So so much of transfer uncertainty is around the Houssem Aouar deal. But of course, anything that falls around, I'll be letting you know, guys. Now I want to talk about Thomas Partey, because this could be a Thomas Partey week. Last week was a Houssem Aouar week. We talked about his new bid. We talked about his bid rejected. We talked about how the player wants to move to the EPL. We talked about so many things. Now Thomas Partey, Arsenal are considering a Lucas Torreira swap deal again. Now I don't know why we are not just getting done with swap deals. I don't know why we aren't just getting done with swap deals. But now it looks like we are taking Lucas Torreira to Atletico Madrid, that we are considering that move to get Thomas Partey and add something like 20 million. I was listening to DT today in the morning, and because his shows comes 1 hour before mine, and he was saying that it could be a decent bid, it could be a decent deal. Atletico Madrid could actually think about it. But if you look at Atletico Madrid taking in Torreira, and you see that they are actually getting Macroc at 15 million. They would get 15 million from Partey, use 15 and then retain the 35. Then it actually wouldn't be a nice deal. So maybe if Arsenal is going to add 30 million to Lucas Torreira, it would make more sense for Atletico Madrid, but it would make much less sense for me as an Arsenal fan. So guys, what do you think about Torreira being swapped with Partey? Do you think Atletico Madrid could actually go for that deal? Do you think Atletico Madrid could go for that deal? I think if we are going for a bid for Partey, we should go for a bid that is quite good enough and attractive enough, because the player is getting frustrated, time is running out, and Atletico Madrid is getting frustrated as well. If you look at how we have been working on this transfer for the past 3 months, it has been a big joke. First and foremost, we went in with 16 million. million, bounced. We went in with 26, bounced, and now I think we're going in with actually we went in with Lacazette. It was bounced. Now we are thinking about going in with Torreira and adding some little money. Do you think Atletico Madrid will fall for that? For me, in my case, I think they still want the money. They are desperate to get the money. One of the journalists yesterday, was really very clear, and he said that Atletico Madrid are really desperate to get that, their hands on that money, because when they get the 50 million, they can actually save that 35, and they can use the 15 million to get a replacement, who's Marc Roca. And I keep asking myself, and I did this question yesterday, that why don't we go for players like Marc Roca, who are around 15 million? If you are broke, if you don't have the money, if you have been affected by COVID-19, why don't we go for players that are a little bit more cheaper? Marc Roca is available. Somari is available, Diawara is available, and we stick to Partey, who at the end of the day may not actually come to Arsenal, and even if he came, maybe I would come on the last day when the club already needs players. So I think that bid might not actually really work. Going in with Torreira, it might not actually work. The other option, which is also valid this week, is we might actually see of Torreira and Hector Bellerin. That means that two players are going to be leaving the club, and we could actually raise funds to get in the man himself, Thomas Partey. Now this is going to happen in such a way that Leverkusen or PSG could actually seal the deal of the man himself, Hector Bellerin, at around 25. I don't think Arsenal will exceed 25 million, although we want 35, but I don't see Leverkusen buying a right back at 35. Maybe PSG, and I don't see them buying Hector Bellerin at 35 million. It must be around 25 million, because that was their first bid. Torreira linked with Torino. Torino are willing to pay 24 million up front, like real cash, according to one of the sources I've seen. If I look at Torreira and Hector Bellerin, both of them could give you 49 or 50 million. You transfer it to the account of Atletico Madrid, you get Thomas Partey. Hector Bellerin's position is well covered, because you have Els Matanau's there, you have Cedric, so I think that position is covered. If you let out Torreira and you bring in Partey, it's just like you've replaced the player. You've just changed shirts and body, but of course the position is filled. So guys, what do you think? Do you think we shall get Partey this week? I'm not really going to give you a confirmation about Partey. I've refused to talk about. I've refused to commit myself to Partey. The only player I've always committed myself to has been Houssem Aouar, basing on the fact that Lyon would want to get in some cash before the start of the season, and their season is very, very close to starting, just like the EPL. Of course, on the 12th of August we shall be playing Fulham at the Craven Cottage, so guys, do not forget that. So Partey swap with Torreira, I think it might not happen, but if we are thinking about selling Torreira at 24 or 25 million, then talk about Hector Bellerin. You sell Hector Bellerin at 25 million as well. That's around 50. Socrates will actually make his move to Napoli or to any Italian club, I'm very sure, at 3.5 million, because that is what the player is telling us, that reduce the amount of money you are asking for, so that I can actually get decent wages at my new destination. I think Arsenal will fall for that. We are still looking at selling in other players like Mohamed Elneny. He has a link. He has been linked in Italy as well. So if we can get Mohamed Elneny off from the club, and then we add up that money and go for Houssem Aouar and Thomas Partey, probably this week we could actually see another development when it comes to those deals. But however, Benrahma is also still an option to Aouar. So guys, don't be sad and say that Houssem Aouar is not going to sign. We are not going to get a playmaker. Said Benrahma is very, very keen on joining Arsenal, and very keen on an EPL move. Brentford are keen on selling as well, and they're not any better from clubs like Lyon. They also have to sell players to finance their budgets next season. So I think Said Benrahma will make an EPL move. Everton and West Ham are quite interested, but West Ham are saying 20 million is still a high valuation of the player. If they value it makes me wonder. They value Felipe Anderson at 5 million, which is just a loan deal for 1 season, and they are saying that signing Said Benrahma on a loan, on a permanent deal around 20 million is big money. Yet Said Benrahma has better statistics than Felipe Anderson. At times you wonder how the transfers work, and you just can't think about it. Anyway, guys, that is it. Apart from that, we are getting back to the EPL. Fans are coming back to the pitch in October. Am I right? October 3rd, we shall be playing against Sheffield United. This when some fans, like 15,000, will come back to the stands for us. We are going to Craven Cottage. I think it should be a winnable game. Winnable if you have Aubameyang, you have Willian, you have Pepe, you have Ceballos, as well as Granit Xhaka. That's a decent midfield. You can start with that as you try to sign in Partey and Aouar, or Partey and another playmaker. So I think we can win at Craven Cottage. Other than that, there is nothing much around Thomas Partey. Thank you so much for being with me. And of course, today, don't miss, I'll be giving you all the updates around Arsenal, especially when it comes to the transfers. I will be talking about the full story about Houssem Aouar. The full story about Houssem Aouar. Is he joining, is he joining Arsenal? The full story. Don't forget. I'll be doing that at exactly 5. I'll be doing that exactly 5, and hopefully I'll come live at exactly 9 p.m. if I can. If I can't, I'll come at 8 around there. So always stay on the team. And thanks to everybody who subscribed. We have hit 10,000 subscribers. Congratulations, the Arsenal podcast. Congratulations. Finally, I just woke up and we were in 10,000, and I hope we don't get hacked. That's what I hope. We don't get hacked, because the Indian Guna was hacked, and it's really hurting when you build something big like that. Built a big audience. Around 11k. That is 1,000. 10,000, that's 11,000 actually, and 800 subscribers, and then some fool comes in and just take away your hard work. It takes a lot to build a YouTube channel, especially in times when transfers are not around. When transfers are around, maybe you can can do the hustle and and the huddling, but of course transfers have to find you well prepared so that you can actually do the job. So standing with you, Indian Guna, he's trying to regain his YouTube channel. YouTube India is trying to work with him. So let us think. Let me think. It can actually do what anything possible to regain the channel of the man himself, the Indian Guna. My name is Kosi, and thank you for staying with me. I'm just watching Statman Dave. And he's trying to show how Mikel Arteta could actually transform Arsenal with a 3-4-3 or 5-3-3 or something like that. He's one of those people that have really very good statistics, and I love him. Statman Dave. He's on YouTube. He has 231k subscribers. And he makes an interesting point. He talks about Leno and Emi Martinez. Who is better? If you look at this, let me just read for you this. Really interesting. Ban Leno versus Emi Martinez. Emi is the saving percentage of Emi Martinez is at 81%, and then Leno's is at 77%. Clean sheets 32% for Emi Martinez, and then at 23.3% for Leno. Really, Arsenal has very good goalkeepers. That's what I can say. Very good goalkeepers, very decent goalkeepers. I hope we can retain them. Anyway, guys, that is the first transfer video we have done today. Don't forget, we shall be doing other transfer videos along the way. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the videos. Thank you so much.